What is the cause of buyers and seller fail to consummate the contract? The answer is very simple. When the buyer dealing with so many chain of middlemen, 4 or 5, that chain of middlemen or chain of broker, they are not helping the buyer. They are helping themselves. They are asking big commission, but they are not certain if the buyer meet the criteria. Now, Mr. Gold Trader, Mr. Buyer, may I greet you a pleasant good morning. The time here is 10:56. Can you see the time on my wall clock? Wilhelmina based in Australia. Wilhelmina is an online call center and extension of the seller. I rather help you rather than running around chasing, dealing with so many chain or broker. You failed. I do understand you have been frustrated. You went to Ghana, you went to Nairobi, you went to different Africa. You have been disappointed. I refrain using the word scam. The scam means you deceive yourself and the seller also deceive yourself. You manipulate the price and the seller allow you to manipulate. That is called scam. That is an old version. However, may I correct your crookedness? May I help you? May I stop your crookedness so that you will not dupe again? In order for you to get the supply, you must have cash available in your bank account, because gold and rough diamond business is not CIF. It's not. CIF stands for cost, insurance, and freight. That is normal. You're gonna pay the shipping cost. That is normal. You pay the insurance. You need to insure when you buy something to deliver that to your destination, to the shipper. Now, Mr. Gold Trader, Mr. Buyer, or whoever you are, my video pop up into your screen when you search gold and rough diamond. You search gold on Mali, my video pop up into your screen. You search gold in Conakry Guinea, my video pop up into your screen. Sierra Leone gold and diamond, my video pop up into your screen. Why? I'm the only person who brought this. None whatsoever. Broker come to me, Mr. Gold Trader. They're searching through social media. We are now on the internet superhighway. Those middlemen have no idea. They think that they can earn commission, Mr. Gold Trader. Instead, I'm going to remove them. Instead, I am helping you, Mr. Gold Trader. You don't need a chain of joker broker. Excuse me if I say this. I want to help you. I want to save you. I want to help you to recover your losses, because you were being duped before. You were being duped. You lost money before. Today, Mr. Buyer, you meet Wilhelmina. That is the reason why I'm explaining why the buyer and the seller fail to consummate the contract. The answer is, you as the gold trader, you've been dealing with so many joker broker. You've been asking their commission. They don't know yet if the buyer is real or not, because Wilhelmina will interview them, and Wilhelmina would know who is the buyer. Why? They come to me, Mr. Gold Trader. I am a gatekeeper. I am the extension of the seller. I am an online call center. When you come to me, Mr. Gold Trader, or any broker come to Wilhelmina, they search gold and diamond, my video pop up into their screen, because I am the only person who explain it, so that in the future, whoever you are, you have been duped before, so in the future you will not repeat again. Now, Mr. Gold Trader, tell me how long you've been searching for gold and rough diamond. Why you fail? Why? My question is, why you fail? Or maybe you're asking for CIF. CIF stands for Cost Insurance and Freight, Mr. Baya. There is no way you can get CIF. CIF stands for shipping cost, cost insurance and freight. That is normal, you have to pay the shipping cost. That is normal, you have to insure the gold. That is normal. But how are you able to pay the gold, Mr. Baya? How? Of course, you need to have cash. Of course, you have to show the proof of fund, your bank statement. Is that right? You need to convince us that you have available fund. If you don't have any available fund, how are you going to convince us? That is a very good answer, isn't it, Mr. Gold Trader? Now, Mr. Gold Trader, I think you already been floating and reading my video, but still you've been searching. Still you've been floating around from group to group on Facebook. I can see it. But everybody landed into Wilhelmina's hand, Mr. Buyer. Why? I'm the only person who put this everything. I'm the only person who explained. Now, may I repeat again, Mr. Gold Trader? May I repeat again, hey? You are buying gold in Africa. Gold in Africa, 98% produced in Africa. 50% of rough diamond produced in Africa. Now, Mr. Gold Trader, I want you to take time. I want you to comprehend. I want you to click after this video explanation. You click below. The terms and conditions and the full corporate offer is in front of you. I want you to take time to digest, to comprehend properly what you are looking for. If you cannot comprehend, you are not a buyer. You are a time waster as well. You think you can get the gold for free. Gold is not for free. You are buying money to make money. If you don't have the money, how are you able to get the money then? You got my logic here, Mr. Gold Trader? I think you are not really paying attention. I can see it, that you have been floating around from group to group on Facebook. Facebook is an advertising site. We advertise it, that we have the supply. But those middlemen, they don't know what they're doing. I can see it. That is the reason why, Mr. Gold Trader, I am in front of you, because I am educating you. Now, Mr. Gold Trader, how many people that come to me, they are fake buyer. They pretend to be a buyer. When I interview them, they are not a buyer. They are a broker. Now, Mr. Gold Trader, I'm talking in front of you. Are you really certain that you are going to buy? Or are you really certain that you have cash in your bank account? Because this is not CIF. This is not for LC. Show me, Mr. Gold Trader, that you have money into your bank account, the proof of fund, your bank statement, to show that really you are a buyer. If you cannot show that you have proof of fund, which is your bank statement, the value of your order, to me you are not a buyer. Because the real buyer will not talk too much. Only bullshit buyer talk too much. They float around pretending to be a buyer. Now, Mr. Buyer, whoever you are watching this video, I am willing to help you. I am willing to assist you. Now, our gold is 22.54. That is an offer to sell it to you. The purity from 94, 95, 96, that is an offer to sell it to you, produced by my seller. Where? Bamako, Mali. Where? In Conakry Guinea. Where? In Sierra Leone. We have gold and rough diamond. We are offering to sell it to you because you're hungry to buy. Does that make sense? Now, the origin, as I've said, Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone. Now, Mr. Gold Trader or Mr. Buyer, the mode of payment is FOB, bank to bank, because of gold laundering and money laundering. So you need to be prepared that you have fund into your bank account. Now, where is the destination of your delivery, Mr. Buyer? Where? Now, you're going to say, well, Amina, what is the selling price? You pay attention. Listen to this video, because the procedure and the terms and condition is already in front of you. And click below. After you watch this video, you are a winner if you pay attention. You are a winner, because everything I explain it from video to video, plus I put that as well on this video, the terms and conditions, the requirement that you are going to need when you travel. Now, Mr. Buyer, as I've told you, the carats 22.54 equals 23 carats. The purity from 94, 95, 96, that is the purity to sell it to you. The origin, Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone, that is an offer to sell it to you. We have gold and diamond, hey? The selling price, that is a very good question, Mr. Buyer. Our selling price is LMA. Whatever the price of today, our selling price is 5%. You are buying money to make money, you must remember. However, because you are buying through Wilhelmina, when you are ready to read the full corporate offer in front of you, you send a letter of intent to buy coming from you, stating that you understood that you are really a buyer, stating that you are going to buy 22 carats, 94% or 95. What are you intend to use, Mr. Buyer? You put that into your letter of intent to buy coming from you in your company letterhead. Because you're a buyer, you need to introduce yourself. You need to introduce yourself for me to validate who you are. Now you're gonna say, there, Wilhelmina, I watched your video. I've been searching for gold and I was being frustrated because I've been dealing with so many fake offer. It is your fault, Mr. Buyer, because your eyes is bigger than a dollar. Your eyes is bigger than profit. You will only get the profit, Mr. Buyer, when you have the capital. If you don't have a profit, I doubt you will get the profit if you don't have a capital. You need to have a capital in order to get the profit. Now, Mr. Buyer, I think my explanation is very, very clear. Very clear. Now, Mr. Buyer, you send the letter of intent, address to Wilhelmina, attention to Wilhelmina, because Wilhelmina is a gatekeeper of the seller. Wilhelmina will validate you based on your letter of intent to buy called L.O.I. Now, when I receive your letter of intent, that you stated the carats, the purity, the quantity, the mode of payment is very, very important. This is not CIF. This is FOB. Now, our selling price, Mr. Buyer, I mentioned that few seconds ago, LMA, less 5%. Whatever the price of the day, go to the world market. I want you to search. I don't teach you, Mr. Buyer, because you're a businessman. You should know what you need. Our selling price is less 5%. However, I am going to offer you an option. Very, very good incentive. Our selling price is 5%, right? Whatever the price of today. Now, Mr. Buyer, you need Wilhelmina to travel with you. You need an extra service of Wilhelmina so that you will not be duped, so that you will not be frustrated when you travel, when we send you a landing visa. So I will take you to Bamako, Mali, Conakry Guinea, or Sierra Leone. I would know which seller I'm going to put you after I validate your letter of intent. So you have to wait until I validate you, because I'm going to look at it. Then I will advise my head office to proceed, whether I'll put you to Conakry Guinea, or I'll put you to Bamako, Mali, or I'll put you to Sierra Leone. So I would know which one is stock available based on your order, because my seller have an extended customer and he has a current customer, and you are a new customer. You got my point now, Mr. Buyer? Now, after I send this letter of intent of yours, I will advise my head office. I will determine which seller I'm going to put you. I will determine after my satisfaction to validate your letter of intent. So then I'm gonna I'm gonna send your letter of intent to my head office. My head office will confirm your order because you stated on your letter of intent your order. Will confirm your order. You will receive a letter of acknowledgement from the head office of my seller in a professional way. This is business. Then we will state that your order has been reserved. The gold is 22 carats. The gold has to be assayed to the local refinery before you pay. So you have to be ready with your fund in your bank account. We are not asking upfront here. We're not. There is no upfront because you have not seen the gold yet. So you need to travel with invitation based on your order. Now there is a minimum order as a trial because we don't know you and you don't know us. So you need to build your credibility to us. Our requirement is 10 kilos to start a trial. For the long term, you have to state that, Wilhelmina, I want to buy gold. First trial, 10 kilos. Second shipment, 50 kilos. Third shipment, 100 kilos. Fourth shipment, 500 kilos. Then we believe that you are a serious buyer. If you're gonna say, I want to buy tons of gold, my goodness, I wouldn't believe it. Tons of gold is $1 billion. You don't have $1 billion. You don't. I can see it. Don't dream too much, Mr. Buyer. I want you to start a trial. I want you to build your credibility to us because my seller is the main producer. My seller wouldn't believe you that you're going to start 5,000 kilos to start with. You don't have the cash. How are you able to pay? Then you're asking LC, then you're asking Black Fund. Immediately you will be rejected. You don't have that kind of amount. I want to encourage you. I want to help you. I am guiding you to start. Then you increase every week because you already know the sellers. You already know the seller that, Wilhelmina seller produce gold. Wilhelmina seller has a very big concession. I'm going to continue buying out of the trial. Does that make sense, Mr. Buyer? Now after, then we will send you a contract with the seller's banking details because Wilhelmina will collect your banking details and Wilhelmina will collect your business license. Wilhelmina will collect your passport copy. Wilhelmina will collect your proof of fund, your bank statement. Don't be scared, Mr. Buyer. You remove the account number of your bank statement. Just show me that you have available fund $500,000, $430,000 on 10 kilos, or $1 million. You convince us, then we will believe that you are really certain buyer, and we believe that you are a serious buyer because this is not for credit. This is FOB, cash transaction, bank to bank. Now you're gonna ask, well, Amina, how I'm going to pay? Very simple, Mr. Buyer. Once you receive the contract, because we're gonna exchange information, your business license and my seller's mining license and export license, etc. Wilhelmina will provide you everything because I am the mandate of the seller. I have all the file of my seller. I am very strict, Mr. Buyer. I am very thorough because I don't want my seller will lose his gold. You already been duped before. You've been duped before. You lost money. Today you will not lose money because I am guiding you step by step. Now, Mr. Buyer, so you're going to say, oh, well, Amina, I want the invoice. No, Mr. Buyer, you have not seen the gold. How are we going to give you the invoice? You will be given an invoice when you travel with Wilhelmina. Your order has to be inspected. Your order has to be assayed to the local refiner. There is a cost of $100 per kilo. After you assay, then you will be given an invoice. Mhm. Now, Mr. Buyer, that $100 per kilo, you have to pay the gold to the local refinery because you are going to use the refinery. You are going to get the assay report that the gold is 22 or the purity, etc., etc. And if you have a gold analyzer, you bring it, you double check. Then when you're happy, then you proceed to make your partial down payment. This is not upfront. That is normal. You have to pay your commitment. We call that a holding deposit. Mhm. Out of the total sale value, you make a holding deposit. How much you can afford to make a holding deposit, subject for your transfer payment from your bank account to my seller's bank account. Does that make sense? It's very clear explanation if you are paying attention to this video explanation. It is very simple. Now you will get invoice, commercial invoice, as a report, attestation, ownership, that the gold is free of illegal activities, custom clearance, airway bill, etc. It would be here. After you watch this video, click below. Everything is on this video. Exactly what I explained it to you. Exactly the same. Now, Mr. Buyer, when are you going to start? How long you are going to send me your business license? How long you gonna make a final decision? Three things, Mr. Buyer, that you have to convince Wilhelmina. Your business license, your importation license, okay? Your passport copy, your proof of fund. Now, if you don't have an importation license, that is fine. That is your responsibility. As long as you are registered business company. It's up to you to bring it to your destination. When you bring it to your destination, you pay the importation tax to your country. You pay. The seller is paying the tax. The seller is paying 7.5 valued added tax. That is normal. The seller will pay to his government because he owned that product. You don't own the product yet. So our price is LME. We waive the tax, Mr. Buyer. I pressure my seller to waive the tax. Our selling price is LME less 5%. Now, Mr. Buyer, remember I mentioned that a few minutes ago that you need Wilhelmina extra service to accompany you so that you will not be frustrated. But my extra service is not for free. My travel cost is not for free. I am charging you to accompany you. I am charging you $10,000 to cover my airfare, my travel insurance, my hotel accommodation, food, and spending money to be with you, all the miscellaneous expenses on the ground. That's very cheap, Mr. Buyer. Don't be panic. Just listen very carefully. Because you pay my extra service, instead of 5%, Wilhelmina will give you extra 3 or 4%. Someone is calling me. It's just a moment. Yeah, good morning. This is Wilhelmina. Hello. Yeah, good morning. Someone. Okay, so it's a private. Person telephone number is private. He's scared. I don't know who is this guy. But anyway, I was being disturbed, Mr. Buyer. So, forgive me. I apologize for someone disturbing my conversation with you. Now, Mr. Buyer, instead of paying 5%, I will give you 3 to 4% extra. 5%, extra 4%. How much is that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9%. Right. And if I'll be with you, if a long-term contract, it's a big quantity, I might pressure my seller to give you more extra. Why? My seller will believe you because I am with you. meaning to say you are serious. But if I'm not around with you, Mr. Buyer, I cannot give you the answer, and I cannot help you if there is an issue. It's better you take Wilhelmina. The $10,000 is peanuts for you. It's peanuts. You're buying $500,000 here. At the end of the day, you are a winner. Rather than dealing with so many brokers. The broker will ask you commission. We don't give brokers commission. Instead, Mr. Buyer, we give it to you so that you will get the profit. Does that make sense? If you are dealing with so many brokers, Mr. Buyer, you pay your broker. It's up to you to pay your broker, because we don't pay double commission. We call that at 2 tiers. We don't. My seller is paying my work by performance. I only charge you when I travel with you so that you're going to be happy with my services and you're going to be happy with my seller. You know, African sometimes very hard to deal with. Very hard to deal with. But when I'm with you, I am going to soften my seller's heart. I know how to negotiate on your behalf. I am helping you. So at the end of the day, you are a winner. So which one you like, Mr. Buyer? I'm giving you the option. You travel alone. I will monitor your movement. 5%. Which one you like? Or Wilhelmina be with you, you will get more than 5%. So you are a winner because you are buying direct to us. You don't need to pay double commission. You don't need to pay a commission of the broker. I am not charging you my commission, Mr. Buyer. I'm not. I am only charging my extra. You understand what is extra? Extra is not for free. I am paid by my seller by performance. That is why I need to be with you so that the contract will be finalized. So you are not paying my commission, Mr. Buyer. You are not. Before you're going to meet my seller, right, I am going to collect your vital information in order for us to know who you are. And if you cannot provide me your vital information to me, you are not a buyer. You are not. So I think I explained that on this video, Mr. Buyer. Relax. Comprehend what my explanation. Comprehend what you are reading. And when you are ready, you come back with your letter of intent to buy coming from you, not coming from the broker. Cut and paste. I'm going to reject that. I have received a lot of fake LOI with no information who is the buyer. Now, Mr. Buyer, again, I will summarize, so that you will fully understood. The terms and conditions with this full corporate offer, 22 carats, is an offer to sell it to you that you are going to buy from us. 94.95, that is an offer that we are going to sell it to you. But you have to taste the gold first before you see the carats and the purity. Because in every bar, there's a different result. The origin is in West Africa. I would know which seller I'm going to put you, Mr. Buyer. Remember, I explained it to you that you need to send a letter of intent to buy. That letter of intent to buy to specify that you are really a buyer. That is how the letter of intent to buy, coming from you, not coming from middlemen, 5 of them, cut and paste. I am not going to entertain that. I want to see who is the buyer. I want to see who is the main buyer. Why that person has been frustrated. Why that person has been duped. I would like to refrain to use the word scam. The word scam means lie, deceive, manipulate. You were being deceived before. You manipulate the price before. That is why the seller also manipulate and he give you the cheap price. What happened? You were being duped. Because gold is not for cheap. Gold is not a bargain. Gold is money you are buying. You got my point here, Mr. Buyer? Now, Mr. Buyer, I think I already explained it thoroughly. Click below, Mr. Buyer. You read it first, very thorough, extensively. I want you to comprehend. I want you to digest, right? Am I qualified to talk to Wilhelmina? Yes, Wilhelmina, I have money in my bank account. I have $435,000, Wilhelmina. I have $500,000 in my bank account, Wilhelmina. I need 10 kilos. Perfect. You are a winner because Wilhelmina will help you. Thank you very much, Mr. Gold Trader. I will wait for you to have a live video conference after you watch this video. Come on Skype, come on WhatsApp. I would like to listen to you after you watch this video. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good morning.